Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo.
My goodness, my hair is getting a little bit round and dome-like again. It's getting a little out of control. I think I might need a haircut tomorrow. It's a little. I don't need any more focus brought on my already too large forehead. Although I don't know if the hair focuses on it, or maybe it's gonna look bigger when I have. Maybe I should just shave my head. Why am I stressing about this? Who cares? What do you think? Is this any better? Hi, Flosstube. It's me, your old pal Stitchman. It's been about a week since I posted my last video, maybe a little more than a week. I've done some things in that time. I've got some things to show you. I've got some upcoming things to tell you about. Figured it must fade a bit of a... Oh my God, it's like, why do I do this at 1:30 in the morning? There's gotta be a better way. Seems like a good time to get some of these things off my chest, get a first segment going so I can continue on with my life uninhibited without forgetting anything, right? Let's get right into it. What are we waiting for? Since we last saw each other, I focused mainly on and actually finished the old Salvador Dali that I was working on. And if only this wasn't reflective, you could actually see it. But instead, look, it's a nice light, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? Purchase available now in PDF form. Lamp. There. How about that? I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. It's not that bad in person. It's just when I hold it up to my camera like this, all of a sudden it turns into a mirror. It's really not that glary in real life. Anyway, I finished this. This is gonna be I want my market table to look a little bit different. And markets are coming up real fast, so I need to refresh my stuff a little bit. I really like this. I really like the quote. I really like the fabric. Me. I did it all. I stitched it all. I charted it all. I dyed it all. Me. After that, I got back mostly to Greenhouse of Oddities, and I've got a little bit left here at the bottom, and then finally the frame part will be done. And when I started this frame, I thought to myself, this is no big deal. It's not that complicated, and it's going pretty quick. And for God's sakes, it feels like I've been working on this frame for 6 years now. When did I start this? Forever ago. 3 haircuts ago. I'm still not finished this frame. But a little bit left, and then I can start moving on to the plant things on the inside. And like, despite my frustrated tone, I do really love this. This is one of my top priorities. But like, I really thought this was going to be done long ago. What is taking so long? Other than those, one other thing I worked on, Sunflower Cottage. I've been working on this. I just picked this up again this evening, so I haven't done too much. But this little area in here, I started working on again. And I will talk more about this in a little bit because I've got big plans. Big plans, which might only last a day, but might last the rest of the year. I don't know. Well, stay tuned for that because I have one more thing to talk about, which I hesitate to talk about, but I'm going to. Okay, the only reason I hesitate to talk about this is because it's ridiculous, and I know it's ridiculous, and it's a waste of time, and it's all the things, and like I'm embarrassed to even tell you, with all the things that I should be doing, that this is what I spent this much time on, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I tell you everything. So I've got this. I've had this for a while. I've got this red rum. That's just a simple sort of like, red rum. People, when I sell stuff at markets, people really like this one. They're drawn to it. I usually have like a little shining setup, at least a picture of Jack Nicholson next to it. Like people, this one jumps out at people and people like it and people do buy it. But I only have my kits that I sell, my cross stitch kits, broken down into like basically big and small, 2 different prices. I don't have a medium, which some of my things that I sell are kind of in the middle. Like this one is kind of in the middle. It's a little bit too big to be a small, but not really like big or complicated enough to be, one of the big ones at the higher price. It's just one color. It's not that complicated, but it's the fabric size that prevents me from selling it for the cheaper price, because I can't lose money on it. So I have to, it's really the fabric that determines it. Nobody's really questioned it, but a few people have questioned, like, really, does this one need to be as much? It kind of does, not because it's more complicated, but because of the fabric size. So problems. And I always felt a little bit guilty, like not really guilty, but a little bit guilty, like, because a lot of people have bought this, and I feel a little twinge of guilt that, like, you should be paying a little bit less for that, really. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, but I can't sell it. It doesn't fit in with the small ones. So I thought to myself, in keeping with the new sort of, I'm holding it weird like this because it's all like, in keeping with the new setup, the new market season, I thought if I had a slightly smaller version of this that was more in the size of my smaller things, I feel like I would sell even more of them. Yeah, it'd be cheaper, but I feel like I would sell more of them. So what I did, I shrunk it down a little bit and made a smaller size version of it that fits more in with my smalls. And I stitched a model of it. And now look, when I'm holding it up here in front of you right now, that actually looks pretty good. But when I got it all done and all finished and all framed and I put it on my shelf, the contrast between the red that I chose and the darker gray here, it made it hard to see. It was really bothering me. That might sound ridiculous because it looks fine right now, but like when I was looking at it, stepping back from a distance, maybe this is just my eyes, but I felt like if you're walking by and you're not right up close to it, you're not even going to know what it is, because it didn't pop out like I wanted it to, or like the other one did. Like this was kind of a lighter gray, and you can see this one a lot better. So I kept it for a week or two, and I was just like, whatever. I'm overthinking it. It's whatever. I'm leaving it. It's fine. I can't waste my time on this. But it just wouldn't stop nagging at me. So I dyed a lighter gray, and I stitched it again. So I've got three red rums when I only need one, and like enough already. Okay, it's enough, Stitch Man. We got it. It's good now. It's fine. You can see it from a distance. It's fine. Because even this, when I got it all done, I kind of looked at it and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, why am I stressing about this one? So no, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? I can't stitch this a fourth time. I can't. So anyway, the clincher, even though I was kind of not super satisfied with this one either. But the clincher was, I held everything up to, I got Dylan, the expert, my son Dylan, he's 6 years old. I called him over and I put everything in front of him and I said, Dylan, which one of these do you like best? And he, without hesitation, said he likes this one best. And I thought, okay, that's it. Problem solved. Dylan has spoken. I'm leaving it. I'm moving on. I'm not doing this again. So if anybody comes to see me at markets this season, this is what you're going to get. Okay? The end. No more red rum.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Speaking of going to the market, look, I'm all excited. My new business cards came. They look exactly like the old business cards, except the font is slightly different. So nobody would ever notice except me, but I was excited about it. I get a new box of business cards. The season is upon us. I am losing my mind, sitting around waiting. I check 5 times a day for all these markets that I've applied for. When are you gonna respond to me? I want to know what I'm doing. Speaking of want to know what I'm doing, I inspired by my friend Emma from Emma X Stitching, who I talk about every single time. She has a list. Maybe you all have this, but she has a list of whips, like actually written down, like a list of whips to keep track of and like keep an order to like where she's at. And I'm like, I need that. Why have I never? I hate chaos and disorder, and I love lists and I love things that are in order. Why have I never made at least like I've got stuff thrown in baskets. I've got stuff in drawers. I need a list. So I made a list, and this is making it a lot easier for me now that I have a list of whips. I have 15 whips on my list, which is a massive amount for me. I know it's small for most people, but like I can't have 15 whips. To be like perfectly honest, there are some that I'm never going to work on again. Let's be honest. I'm trying to be honest with myself. I'm not going to work on some of these ever again. So it's not really 15, but you know, I just wrote down everything that I have like a little bit of progress on so I can like see where I'm at. And I have come up with something I'm going to try at least for this week, maybe for the rest of the year, maybe for a couple of days. I don't know how it's going to work because as much as it appeals to me, the idea, and I said this is how I started off the year with just like I'm going to stitch whatever I want, whenever I want. Yeah, the idea of that is appealing, but I feel like it creates a lot of chaos and turmoil within me because I'm sort of just like, I don't really enjoy deciding in the moment what I want to do and then not seeing as much progress as I want on this and that, and I feel guilty about that, and I should have been working on that. And like I prefer order and structure and lists and to-do lists, and I like to know and routine. I love routine. I like to know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. I don't mind doing the same thing over and over and over every day. In fact, I enjoy doing the same thing over and over every day. I don't like to just sort of, I'll just decide in the moment. Decide in the moment? What is that? What are you, crazy? So I have, for the moment, I've taken my list of 15 and I've highlighted 5. If I had to narrow this down right now in this moment, if I had to narrow this down to 5 that I want to focus on, I highlighted 5 of them, and I'm going to start this week and at least go do this week. I'm just so I can like know what I'm doing and have a focus and make significant progress on the things I want to make significant progress on. I'm going to try to do one project per week. And in that week, nothing else exists. It's Sunday night right now. And between now and next Sunday night, Sunflower Cottage. Nothing else exists. I'm only working on Sunflower Cottage for this entire week. And then I don't have to think about it. And I don't have to wonder what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to make a very noticeable, very significant amount of progress in that week. I know I will. And I'll be happy about that. And then I'll move on to the next one that I have slated for the next week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make, 5 to 7 weeks in advance list, and like when the time comes, if that's still what I'm going to do. But maybe it'll just be 1 week at a time. I'll decide next week, or maybe I'll do 2 weeks at a time, so I don't have to it doesn't have to reset every week. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why are you hassling me? But right now, this is my plan: 1 week at a time for the things I want to work on. And the 5 that I've highlighted right now that I want to focus on, if you ask me right now, and you are asking me right now, so I'm going to tell you right now: Sunflower Cottage, Greenhouse of Oddities, Trapeze, Baldequin Birdies. Yes, I'll throw a Jacob in there just to, so he doesn't get sad. And Jimmy Stewart. I want Jimmy Stewart back in the rotation. He's been sitting in the drawer for too long. He needs to be worked on.
Somebody will listen to me.
Now, there's going to be another one worked in there too in April. I guess I've committed myself to the new Lola Crow. Not Lola. Yeah, Lola Crow. Yeah. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? The new Lola Crow. I'll tell you what's wrong with me. Tangent, if you want a little bit of a tangent. I've been eating a lot better, and I have way too much energy. This is not a result of like sugar or drinking or like any of my other bad habits. This is a result of really good habits. I've been eating really healthy lately, and I don't know if you know this or not, but like fruits and vegetables are like some kind of wonder drug. It's like it's like you could eat a bag of carrots, or you could have a bag of cocaine, and the carrots are gonna do a lot more for you than the cocaine is gonna do. Because I feel like I am have been bursting out of my skin lately. I'm always tired. I always want naps. I'm always grumpy. I'm always, I haven't been any of these things. I've been a little bit too wound up though. I need to keep that under control. This is just carrot and smoothie energy happening right now. If you can believe that, that's what's going on. Oh, apparently I've been roped into the new Lola Crow Sal roped in. I want to do it. Like I've gone through the Lola Crow website and there's not a single one I don't like. So even though this is a mystery Sal, which again, chaos, I'm not comfortable stitching mystery Sals. I want to know exactly what I'm doing. Like I already have a million questions. What is it gonna look like? What is it? How am I gonna know what fabric to stitch it on? What colors am I gonna be using? How big is it? How? But anyway, I had Emma on this shoulder and Alyssa on this shoulder, my two little angels of death, just like, hey, we're gonna do it. You gotta do it with us. You gotta do it. And you know how powerless I am to resist when I've got my two ladies talking to me literally at the same time. At the same time, one at a time would have been bad enough. That's enough that I can't say no to that. Both of them at the same time. What am I supposed to do?
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn out a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do?
So that's starting the first week of April, I think. And whatever week that is, I'll work that into that week. And that'll be my thing for that week. But I'm kind of excited about that. I don't feel like this is going to peter out like other things peter out. I like routine, even with the healthy eating thing. I eat the same breakfast every single day. I have 2 lunches that I alternate back and forth between. Even 2 is like wildly like, why don't I just have 1? I don't know. I'm completely fine having the same thing at the same time every single day. If I like it once, I like it a million times. I don't get tired of it. I like that. So I feel like having a routine is really going to help me. Sorry, I'm going to burp. I feel like having a routine week by week by week where I'm focusing on one thing, I feel like I'm going to make massive amounts of progress on things that I really want to be making massive amounts of progress on. And I'm really excited about it. So I hope that you are as excited as I am. And if you're not, then eat a bag of carrots, because I'm telling you, eating a bag of carrots is better than a truckload of drugs. You will be bouncing out of your seat. I cannot contain myself. It's 1:30 in the morning right now, and I need to stop this so that I can go run a few laps around the track and then come back and stitch. And I don't even need sleep anymore. I don't need it at all. Ever. Not at all. Okay, I'll see you maybe in a week. See how this week on, week off thing has gone. Maybe let's see. Hello again, my Flosstube friends. How long has it been since we saw each other? Has it been 4 seconds or a week? It's actually been 2 weeks since the last time I sat here. 2 weeks. So I should have tons of shit to show you, right? Yeah, I actually kind of do. And look at me. Look, I'm all in shape now, and like I have shorter hair, and I got this fancy Canada hat. And can I say something before we get started? Can I go on a little bit of a rant about this Canada hat? Well, I'm going to. So here I am looking around for like something to put on my head that's like, I was looking for I have a Blue Jays hat that doesn't quite fit. So I was looking for a new Blue Jays hat, and I was like, why let's just go straight to the point and just get a straight up Canada hat. Yay Canada. So like here I am all innocent and patriotic going like, what? Of course, if I'm going to wear a Canada hat, it's going to be red and white, right? Those are our colors. Look at our flag. That's our actual flag. Red and white. So obviously that's the hat I'm going to pick. And look at me. I'm going like, look, I got a hat. I like it. It fits. I think it looks pretty good. I'm walking around town like look at me. I'm Mr. Canada. Everybody look at me. Oh, everybody was looking at me all right. And I'm sure you know why. After about a week of innocently walking around thinking to myself how much I love Canada, people started coming up to me and saying, oh my God, at first glance from a distance, I thought you were wearing a MAGA hat. Fuck. So what are you telling me? Red hat. Every red hat has just been ruined now. Red and white. Those are my colors. Those aren't MAGA colors. Those are Canada colors. Every red hat, especially a red hat with white writing, has been ruined. The general consensus about that is yes. Yes, it has. You can't wear that anymore.
Motherfucking mutt! You fucking piece of shit!
Fine. I'll wear the black one. You dumb orange mother.
I love Tesla.
Can't even wear a red hat. Are you kidding me? Here, people were probably looking at me all week going like, who is this guy walking around boldly wearing a MAGA hat where like you don't do that around here, not around these parts. I'm surprised I didn't get beaten up.
I love Tesla.
Anyway, enough about that. I got a hat. I'm feeling good. That's good enough. Let's move on to stitching. So what have I been up to? Remember when I said, of course you remember, it was like a minute ago, when I said that I was going to try this new thing of sticking to, I'm going to pick a thing for a week and I'm going to stitch on that thing for a week and take the decision making out of it. Well, did I stick to that? Do I ever stick to anything that I say I'm going to do? No, not usually, but I actually stuck to that this time, and man, has it ever been working well. So when last we spoke, I said I was going to dedicate myself to Sunflower Cottage for the rest of the week and see how far I could get, and I actually did that. And what a great opportunity to show you where I was last time, because the progress is significant, and Jacob sang a song about this. So let's take a 30-second break and listen to Jacob sing while I collect myself.
Sun is out and all is good, shines on our neighborhood and the sunflower cottage. Flowers reach toward the sky, love is in the air, and I don't know why I love the sunflower cottage. Oh, I love the sunflower cottage, but I don't know why.
And here is what Sunflower Cottage looks like today. What do you think of that? How about that for sticking to a plan? Woo, baby! This is more like what I'm used to, when I want to see progress on something. I've got so many whips now, which is like, it's not a lot compared to the rest of you, but like, it's still like, when I've got 5 or 6 regular things on the go, and like day by day, I'm like a little bit of this one, or maybe I'll make a little bit of that one, or I don't feel like I see the significant progress on any single one of them that I want to be seeing, because I pick away at this one and then that one and this one and that one, and but boy, when I can get a run on something, on just one thing for a few days, it comes together fast. And I'm quite liking this new way of doing things. I realized in doing this how much time I waste thinking about what I should be doing and then deciding what to do. I spend way too much time on that instead of actually stitching. And when the decision making is taken out of it for me, I'm doing this and this is what I'm doing. There is no decision making. I just picked this one up. I feel like my stitch time has doubled. I don't like to think. It's also highlighted something that I've always known about myself, but like, I know I started off the year saying that I'm just going to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and nobody's going to tell me what to do, and I'm my own man, and I can do whatever I want. Yeah, that's great, but that's not what I like. I like predictability, and I like routine, and I actually like doing the same thing over and over and over. I don't get tired of it. I don't get tired of things if I like them. I eat basically the same thing every day. I wear the same thing every day. If like the movie Groundhog Day. Oh, what a nightmare. He just wakes up and it's the same day repeating over and over. That's my dream life. That'd be great. I strive for that. So removing all those unknowns from my process of deciding what to do and actually stitching and just picking the same thing up and working on the same thing day after day. Oh boy, I'm loving it. Can you tell? And look how fast it's going. Look how much progress I'm making. I'm loving it.
I love Tesla.
So when I got that far and I decided, I came to a natural stopping point there at the end of page 2. And I thought, okay, I'll put that down and I'll pick something else up for a week. And just as I said I was going to do, oh my God, I picked up Greenhouse of Oddities. And remember when I was complaining about like, oh my God, I've been working on this frame for so long. It's going so slow. Why am I still working on it? How come I'm not seeing the progress that I want to be making? Take a look at this. Oh my God. Frame is done. And the first planting, which was like the first after the frame, the next section of the sal was this thing right here in the middle. Also done. Done. What? Oh my God. All I needed to do to get shit done was remove any sort of thought or decision making and just mindlessly pick up the thing and just do the same thing every day. And boy, oh boy, does shit get done when I can just do the same thing over and 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 over. And hey, how about the fabric that I dyed to stitch this on? Pretty great, right? And I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. Boy, I wish I had some of that fabric. Well, today's your lucky day, because guess what? I've got some in my shop right now. 18 count and 16 count. All you have to do is go and get it. So considering that I jumped into this late and I was dicking around and taking way too long with it, I'm only one more section behind where I'm supposed to be anyway, if I'm like actually just keeping up with where everybody is with the sal. One more section and I would actually be just caught up with everybody else. I mean, I'm still going to probably fall a little bit behind because I'm going to put this down and pick up something else. If I were to keep on continuing on with this, I could be done that in this week and all caught up with it. But I'm not gonna, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I no longer think about the things that I quote unquote should be doing or could be doing. If I just decide here's what I'm doing and the other things don't exist this week, it's great. It's absolutely great. And on that note, I haven't quite decided what the next thing is going to be now that I've come to like the end of this for now. I haven't quite decided what the next thing is that I'm going to do. I want to keep working on this Jacob's Baldequin Birdies sal. It's been a few weeks since I put any stitches in on this, and it'd be great to put a week's worth into it and see how far I can get. But I'm also missing this quite badly. Jimmy Stewart has been neglected for a very long time. So, you know, these are so different. It just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. You know, monochrome and just run with it, or full coverage and be stitching confetti day after day. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I'll decide tonight. It may not even be either one of these. I might hold off on those for a few days until next week. And in the meantime, because it also was pointed out to me by Emma, like I'm going to have to make room somewhere in there to stitch some of my own things still. You know, market season is coming up fast. I've got some lined up already, and I am going to have to squeeze my own stuff in there somewhere. Maybe not a week at a time, but like maybe if I'm working on something, you know, switch to my own things for the weekend or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But there's wiggle room in there. But whatever, when I stop wiggling, stick to the routine and don't question it, and shit will get done.
Everything's computer.
Also, quite recently, this might actually be what I do this week. My friend Alyssa Jones designed her own thing for the first time and released it. I knew it's been, I've known because I'm an insider, you know. I've known that it's been coming for a while now, but it's actually up. She put it up on Etsy for anybody that wants to get it. Here it is over my shoulder, hopefully. Right here, it's a golf ball that looks like Augusta for the Masters that's coming up next week. Who doesn't love the Masters? Everybody loves the Masters, don't they?
I love Tesla.
So I feel like maybe for the rest of this week, which is like, it's Tuesday right now, so like today through the weekend, I might work on that and one of my own small things that need to do and sort of like alternate between Alyssa and I this week while I decide what the next big one's going to be, Jacob or Jimmy. I dyed a little piece of blue, tangled up in blue fabric that I'm going to dye. This is what I'm going to use for the Alyssa stitch. I think it's going to look pretty good. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, I wish I had some of that blue fabric. Well, you're in luck. I've got some in my shop right now. So that's the plan for the next little bit. Probably Alyssa and I this week. Another big thing for next week. The new Lola Crow Sal, the mystery bird thing, whatever it is. I'm sorry, Extraordinary Birds, I think it's called. I'm going to be doing that too. That starts probably soon. Maybe this week or next week. Shit. I better get on that too. I'll squeeze that in somewhere. It doesn't matter. I don't feel overwhelmed by the whips anymore because I only have one whip at a time now, and I just put the rest out of my mind. So whichever one I decide to work on at the time, the rest just don't exist. There's so much more room in my head now. It's clutter-free. I love it.
Everything's computer.
So I was thinking I would probably, work on whatever I'm going to work on for the next week or two and do this again and then post a video. But I'm looking at the time here, how long I've been rambling, plus the 20 minutes that I already had before. A little bit of me goes a long way. So this might be enough to just stop here and just post this and make this its own video and start fresh next time, huh? You don't want once you see that hour, Stitchman made a new video, 1 hour and something. Oh boy, that's work. that's too much. So we'll see what this looks like when it's all said and done. You're either going to see the end in a couple of seconds, or you're going to see me again with a slightly longer beard. Who knows? Let's find out.
I love Tesla. Everything's computer.